I notice you see something different. I've painted my wall. Okay, no I didn't, but there is noticeably something different, so I'll let you comment on it. I usually don't do reviews anymore, but I thought I'd do one because I watched 2 shows today. I was in a wrestling mood. I watched ROH End of the Age, and Of an Age. Great show. If you want me to do a review on that, just ask. Do it. TNA No Surrender. I really don't know what to say about this show as a whole. Because someone's going to comment, oh, why didn't you like this certain thing? I'll get to that. Let's start off the night. We've got the Beautiful People versus Taylor Wilde and Sarita for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Now, everybody knows that Angelina Love has been fired. So how are they going to do this Beautiful People gimmick? Because now it's just Taylor Wilde, Velvet Sky. How could I forget my ever-beloved Velvet Sky? Anybody who knows me on Skype, I always drool over the woman. She is fucking amazingly hot. Anyhow. So I'm thinking, how are they going to do this? They did exactly what everyone thought they were going to do. They were going to have her team with Madison Rayne, who had just been recently kicked out. No worries, no worries. This match was good. It was a good, solid opener. I mean, the Beautiful People were a little bit sloppy in areas, but Sarita and Taylor Wilde pulled off some great tag team action here, and I think it was good for an opener. The people I was with was complaining that it was not too long, but it was alright. I thought, it's good for an opener. An opener shouldn't be that long. 3.5 stars I'll give it. It is what it is. It was an opener. It was 4 decent female workers, so there you have it. Next, we had Hernandez versus Eric Young, which really was a match. Eric Young refused to fight Hernandez, and Hernandez just basically kicked the shit out of him and pinned him. I guess I won't rate this because I usually don't like to put the NA. I mean, because, quite frankly, if it was good or bad, you should think, well, was it good or bad? I mean, there's no need for the NA. That's the best I can explain it without sounding like a complete fool, even though I probably already sound like a fool. But I'll just give the NA. We'll let go with that. The NA, because all it was just Hernandez kicking the shit out of Eric Young while he was in a suit. Then you have the X Division title match. Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels. This was easily match of the night. It was very fast-paced. It was pretty unpredictable in areas. I really thought that Daniels was going to go home with this one. I thought Daniels was going to win the title. Unfortunately not. It ended with Samoa Joe doing his patented chokehold. I can't believe I can't remember his name. But it was easily match of the night, just with the trade-offs that they were having. And it's Joe and Daniels, so you're obviously going to get something decent out of that. And Joe needs to lose weight. Seriously. The guy looks so out of shape. He's still in a good match. I ain't going to take that away from him. He applied a lot of STFs in this match. But Joe really needs to lose the weight. He really does. And TNA, to do everybody a favor, get rid of the penis on his fucking head. And get rid of the fucking parachute pants. Really. He looks like a fucking fool in that. He really needs to change that. Go back to his old attire. That's just my opinion. So far, we have 2 matches that are really good, and 1 match, I guess, is just to help elevate a storyline. So, okay, we're going alright. Then you get Elijah Burke versus Suicide. Falls count anyway. This was a mess. This was a complete fucking mess. And I can't believe I actually remember what happened in this match. There was an incident where Elijah Burke got onto a golf cart and tried to run over Suicide. Where did Elijah Burke get his fucking license from? Because quite frankly, he does not know how to fucking drive a golf cart, let alone a car. Another incident is where Suicide tries to push Elijah Burke while he's on a cart, and he fucks up on that. Elijah Burke took a bump on two pallets. Or skids, whatever you want to call them. There's a difference, but I'll just say pallets. I work in a warehouse, so I know a lot about pallets. Pallets will hurt like shit if you land on them, depending on how much they weigh. A normal pallet would weigh about 30 pounds, or 25 to 30 pounds. So 60 pounds together, that's a lot of weight. And Elijah Burke, I don't know if it's the case, but I think Elijah Burke landed while his ass was still exposed. Because there was a point where he was trying to climb out, and Suicide basically pantsed him and showed his ass, which was not a pretty sight at all. They get outside the ring, and they were doing a little bit of kooky spots. Oh, I didn't rate Samoa Joe Daniels. I give it 3 3/4 stars. You'll see the ratings over there. Elijah Burke and Daniels. Elijah Burke and Suicide was just a sloppy match. It ended with Suicide, if I can remember correctly, he was on the stage, he tried to land on Elijah Burke, he landed on the table with Elijah Burke getting out of the way, and Elijah Burke got the pin. I give it 1.5 stars just by sloppiness. The reason it didn't get any less than that is because we all had a good time, because the stream that we were watching, the guy who was running the stream was fucking doing all these weird effects on it. So he had a cheap laugh on it. Then we had the match that could have possibly gotten Kristen of Black Cat Feline to stop watching TNA. ODB versus Cody Deaner for the TNA Knockouts Championship. This was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because, quite frankly, Cody Deaner did not do as bad as I thought he was going to be. There was pretty much, in our minds, some kind of weird hope, or some kind of weird doubt that, oh my god, is Cody Deaner really going to win this? Because TNA is that crazy. They are that crazy. They didn't. They allowed ODB to go over. 2 stars on that one. That was a decent match with a couple of swerves, but that's about it. That's all it really was. Anyhow, Kevin Nash versus Abyss. This was fucking horrible. This was sloppy as all can be. It was boring, and the only thought that I can remember off the top of my head was the end, where Abyss, I think, got distracted by Dr. Stevie, and he got an electric taser to his fucking nuts. The reason it's not getting a dud is because of the spot that Daphne took. I'm going to give this a 1/4 star because of the spot that Daphne took. Because Daphne, thank God, saved this from being a dud. Why can't you have a little bit of more Daphne in there? Daphne is fucking awesome and is one of the few women that's going to fucking take a spot. Whatever. Then you have Lethal Lockdown. Lethal Lockdown consisted of Beer Money Inc., James Storm and Robert Roode, and the Dudleys, which was Bubba Ray and Dudley and Devon, versus World Elite, Brutus Magnus and Doug Williams, and main event Mafia members Booker T and Scott Steiner. Folks, Lethal Lockdown has become just like, in my opinion, the Elimination Chamber. It's gotten to a point where it's never going to top its first match. This match, to me, was nowhere near this year's, nowhere near 2007's, nowhere near 2006's or 2005's. This, in my opinion, was just there. If I can remember correctly, the big spot that happened was with Beer Money doing... I'm trying to remember the spot exactly. I think it was... Oh, crap. It was a spot on top of the cage that they did to, I believe, Brutus Magnus. That was supposed to be the big spot. It was a double team move. I think it was a double suplex. There we go. A double suplex. And I'm probably wrong on that, but this is This is one of those forgettable shows. That's what the problem was. Most of the spots were very forgettable. And this match was very forgettable as well. There was not really much to remember out of it, except for that spot. And that spot had been overtopped by earlier's lockdown with AJ just completely diving into the cage. I don't know. To me, this just was not there. 2.5 stars I'll give it, because I've seen better lockdown matches, quite frankly. I think this would be on par with Lockdown 08's Lethal Lockdown match, which, again, was just a disappointment in and of itself. We'll leave it at that. See, I don't like to spoil matches. I've spoiled a couple, but I'm not a heavy on spoiling matches, because I don't like to be spoiled on myself. Rhyno versus Bobby Lashley. This was sloppy at areas. This was not the worst Bobby Lashley match I've ever seen, not the worst Rhyno match I've ever seen. But I think Rhyno took a really good bump that busted him open. He was really busted open right over here. What else? I think it ended with Bobby Lashley just basically punching the shit out of Rhyno, and then that was just it. That was the match, really. And I can't remember who that student was. Rhyno. Did he even appear at all? He didn't even appear, and I thought that would help for storyline purposes. Whatever. They decided not to bring him out, so. But again, this was a match that really just didn't deserve purpose, in my opinion. 2 stars. Really. It was just there. And you got the main event. Kurt Angle, Matt Morgan, AJ Styles, Sting for the TNA World Heavyweight title. And this is what I wanted to talk about as far as caring about this pay-per-view. AJ is now the new TNA World Champion. Here's what I have to say to that. After it had happened, after AJ won, I will immediately admit I marked out. Because if anybody who knows me knows that my favorite TNA wrestler is AJ Styles. Basically, AJ is the reason that I even give 2 shits on even following this company. This company that has been on a downhill slide for God knows how long. There are a couple of other superstars that I want to watch, like Elijah Burke, very charismatic, Taylor, why do I keep saying that fucking name? Velvet Sky. But, fuck. I marked out. I will automatically admit I marked out. A certain YouTuber, I won't mention his name, but I think you'll know who I'm talking about, said, no one cares. I enjoy talking to this guy. I mean, we talk a lot on Skype. But, here's what I gotta say to that. Leave me to my fucking markout moment, please. Please, don't ruin it for me. I'm just happy that AJ's the champion and not Sting. In fact, that's how it ended, weirdly. Because it was Matt Morgan who was in the middle of the ring. Sting and AJ looked at each other, and Sting just walked out and tackled Kurt Angle, and AJ just did the move, the 450 was off the ropes, and won the match. I loved it. It was AJ winning the fucking title. It was the wrestler that I care about the most winning the title. I know that makes no fucking sense if it's destroyed, because we all know about the Samoa Joe title run, but I'm just having my markout moment for the night. I bet you anything by tomorrow, I'm going to look back on this and be like, who cares? Anyhow, yeah, I got a cut right there. But, what did I rate this match? I rated it 3 stars. I give the overall show a 6, maybe a 5.5. Because, quite frankly, the only thing memorable out of the show was AJ's win, Joe and Daniels, and Beautiful People vs. Wilde and Sarita. And Beautiful People vs. Wilde and Sarita is a one-time view, really. I mean, you don't really have to watch it a lot. It's not any great. It's just a good opener. Joe and Daniels, you can watch a second time. And AJ's win was good. But everything else either just was there or just was stupid. It was not the worst pay-per-view. I'll give them that. They really didn't completely suck. They even took ODB and Cody Deaner into. I thought that was going to be a complete clusterfuck, but it was alright. Anyhow, there's my fucking No Surrender review. You gotta fucking review. I don't like doing these because I don't like getting into detail, and sometimes I don't even remember some of the stuff except for the major details of the match. Was it sloppy? Was it great? Was it clean? What not? I don't like to name spots. I don't like to spoil them. But there's your review. There's your star ratings. If you want an end of an age review, I'll give it to you. I plan to rant about SmackDown for Sure 2010, hopefully tomorrow or maybe Tuesday. Whatever. I hope you enjoyed this shitty fucking review. I'm fucking done. Fuck off.